It is Mindshift Friday. We want to shift your mind a bit. Every Friday, we have interesting conversations, just critically looking at ideologies we have believed or scenarios we interact with every day and just asking ourselves, is there another way to look at it? Is this the way it's supposed to be? Could there be another side that we are ignoring? And so that's what Mindshift Friday is all about. Today we talk about social media. Social media. Social media has become the way of life. Kenyans are spending, I don't know how many hours, I don't know what the latest statistics will tell us, but man, we are spending a lot of hours on social media. You wake up in the morning, the first thing you do, check your social media. Who has said what? Yeah. After you shower, you come back again. Who has said what? We check our social media, I don't know, like 300 times in a day. We are always there. And so this social media, has it made us better communicators or has it made us poor communicators? That is what we want to look at today on Mindshift Friday. I've got two amazing ladies to help us with this conversation. Jamin Mweni is a PR consultant. Good to have you here. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Have you checked your social media since you came here today?
Yes, I did.
Like how many times?
As I was leaving the house and then as I got here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So twice.
And then we have digital marketing manager Cynthia Omweru. Cynthia, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Well, najua social media lazima ucheck. If you are a digital marketing manager, what have you been marketing since morning?
Everything and anything. So I'm always online.
You're always online.
Yeah.
So social media. Social media has become our way of life. And let's first look at, let's approach this conversation first from a positive perspective.
Yes.
When you look at social media, what are some of the things you think or you see it has made possible in terms of making communication either easier or better?
Connection. Because now when you see so many times you want to, I remember when my auntie left, there was no way to communicate with her except calling her or email.
Yeah.
But now it's made it so possible I can be able to see my nephew and my niece, and I'm able to see my cousins. I'm able to speak to them. I'm able to connect with them. I'm not able to see them every single day, but I'm able to connect with them. So it's made it so easy for us to connect. Yeah.
I remember back in the day when I was in primary school going into high school, my dad, I know he's watching, he was one of those ambitious fellows. And so we had a telephone back in Shags. The one for rotating like this until the operator receives it, and then he connects you. And so we felt so privileged, like we could call people in Shags. But then now, I mean, at the click of a button, you're able to connect with anywhere in the world, as long as they have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
What are some of the other positives you would say you can see where communication and social media are concerned? When a digital manager able to be a digital marketing?
Yeah. So aside from communication, which is very obvious because as human beings, we have an innate need to connect with one another.
Yeah.
The second most important thing is it has allowed us to easily access information. So in the past, for example, if you're in campus, you had to physically walk to a library or buy a book in order to get the data that you want. But right now, you can get all that information at the click of a button. You can go straight to YouTube. There's several educational social platforms, such as Coursera, there's Quora, there's Reddit, where you can just go and get tons of information. And most of this information is free or very affordable. You can get some platforms charge about $20 or $30 per month, which is about $3,000, and that is an average just one book. So that is a very, very good thing. Yeah.
You can also get some Kenyans to do exams for you.
I know.
You can get some Kenyans to do your exams for you. That's on the negative side. But with all these things, it's still addictive.
Yes, it is. So today morning, I was just watching The Social Dilemma. It's a documentary on Netflix.
Yes.
And they're talking about how every single time, every single platform user or the owners of the company are always trying to find a way to engage you.
Yeah.
That's the point of social media. Now for us, we could become so, every time you hear that notification, you want to go run and find out what's happening.
Who is saying
what? Yeah. Sometimes it becomes so addictive to that point where you can spend 3 hours There's a survey Media Council did for last year, 2021, and it said 1 to 3 hours. You can spend 1 to 3 hours just there for 3 hours. And that's what I can say. It's very true, because on TikTok, you can spend up to 2 hours just going through it. And the whole time you're like, wait, why am I, okay, wait, don't I have work to do?
Yeah.
And then you go back, you're like, no, let me continue.
Which I really find interesting, because the way TikTok is structured, it's for people with a short attention span.
Yes.
Exactly.
And they stay there for 3 hours.
That's the funny part. It's just a bunch of 10-second videos, but you find yourself wasting 3 hours on that, just as she said,
3 hours.
Yeah. Doing a lot of nothing, by the way.
I mean, it is crazy. One of the things that sometimes I get concerned about, and especially in a season like this, and I've already started seeing this on social media, because we are looking forward to an election in the next couple of weeks. And what I usually see on social media in a season like this is people feel they have the right to say whatever.
Exactly.
Without thinking about the other person. Everybody on social media is an expert. Everybody thinks they're right. Is that healthy?
No, absolutely not. Social media, unfortunately, okay, this is a good thing and a bad thing. It has allowed us to have freedom of expression. So now everyone feels entitled to share whatever it is they're feeling or expressing in the day. So now there's a challenge in that people can peddle lies, and some people do not research whatever it is being said, so they'll just run with this, instead of getting the facts and researching and identifying, okay, wait, is this data actually correct? Or I'm just peddling lies, or, just going about with whatever this person is saying. Secondly, when someone peddles lies about you, there's some people who have low self-esteem issues, so that could lead to a lot of cyberbullying, so people can be bullied. Other people have issues such as social anxiety because of social media. Other people have cases of depression. Others, to the extreme sides, it may lead to suicide. So we should really be careful about what we say on social media, because not all of it is healthy at all.
When we began this show, the song we were listening to is Am I Trending? And I think trending has become like a drug in this generation. And so I find that people will do anything. Cynthia is talking about peddling in lies. I see that a lot in WhatsApp groups, even our church WhatsApp group. You see something sensational, and then you send it, and you add that caption. That caption we add as received. As if that sanitize na imeitakasa. So is social media and the need to trend making us liars?
Yes-ish.
Yes-ish.
Yeah, because now you want to be a part of the conversation. So you see something trending on Twitter, and then all of a sudden you have information about it, and it wasn't even, you weren't even there whatsoever. You weren't even there. But now you feel the need to actually be like, okay, I need to be a part of this conversation. But it doesn't really work like that. Yeah. If you're not talking from a perspective of being an expert in that field, you're part in that organization, or something was happening, and you have an experience with that particular conversation, then no. Maybe ask for more information about it, or contributing and researching about it.
You're talking about that need of being part of the conversation, which I think is also another, I don't know what to call it, that social media has created. People call it FOMO, fear of missing out. So you always feel like you have to say something about something. And so you say things that you haven't investigated, you don't know whether they're true or not, you haven't considered who they will hurt or not. And so for me, I think as much as the platform is giving you space to express yourself, then you end up not building relationships. Instead, you're tearing people apart.
How many times have you seen the comment sections? People now are opting to actually turn it off. Because of how many times do you keep receiving of there's so many negativity in it. So you're like, there's no need for it. I would rather just post it. And then even if you do post it and then don't get a certain amount of likes, you're like, okay, what happened? What happened? Should I turn it on again? So I receive feedback. So it's become a way of just connecting.
There's something you talked about, Cynthia, And I'm just wondering, has it also made us lazy? Because when we talk about looking into things to make sure they are correct or not correct, several times in social media, WhatsApp groups, either it's a church group or it's a family group, somebody sends something sensational. And because I'm in the media space, I try and find out, okay, is this really true? Because it sounds way out there. You Google, you don't even do a lot of work. You just Google, and a few sites tell you, by the way, this story is trending and it's not true because of 1, 2, 3. So does it make us lazy as well? Because we can so easily communicate. We don't take the time to actually think through what we want to say and how we want to say it.
Absolutely, because it's easier to share something that's already been sent to you as opposed to actually doing the research for you. Because doing the research is, time consuming. First of all, you'll have to spend a lot of time. You'll have to dig through several sites. You'll have to ask around. So people don't have the time for that, or just don't care for it. So yes, it's made people very, very lazy. Case in point, the people that were being done for research recently, they're just lazy to do the research for themselves. So they opted to hire someone else. So yes, absolutely, it's caused laziness in us. Yeah.
Which leads me to another thought. Then, does social media actually meet our need to communicate, or does it fuel our need to feel validated?
Okay.
Because we get worried. You've posted something 3 hours later, no one has liked it. I only have one comment. So that does something to you.
Yeah, you start looking at the photo again. You're like, did I? Okay, what was happening?
They don't love me.
I know.
Was I in the wrong location?
Yes.
Was I wearing?
Yes.
Yes, it's become a form of validation. But now you pick and choose exactly what social media does for you. Is it for your personal branding? Is it for your business? Is it just for you and your friends just to connect?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, I think as an individual, you first take the opportunity to really think about it. Why am I on this platform exactly? Is it to help me? And then use it accordingly. Yeah.
No, I was reading something this morning, and it was talking about communication being passing on a message, message received, message understood. To saying that's the complete cycle of communication. There has to be a message that's sent, there has to be somebody who receives that message, and they have to understand it. Because if they don't receive it, communication hasn't happened. If they receive it and they don't understand it the way you intended them to understand it, communication hasn't happened. Yeah. And sometimes I feel like with social media, as long as we put it out there, we assume the communication process is complete. Because I sent the email. I put a post on my social media. I send you a WhatsApp message. As opposed to back in the day when you make a call, somebody has to receive the call. So they received the message. So there's conversation. Yeah. If it's face to face, I talk, you respond. But with social media, I feel like just because I have put it out there, then I have communicated. What do you think about that thought process?
Yeah, well, there's definitely communication breakdown over that, For communication to be complete, you must receive feedback, in my opinion.
Okay.
So if you've posted something and it's intended to reach a particular person, then reach out to them and ask them, hey, did you get this message? How has it resonated with you? Did you understand me? Or how can I better explain myself so you can be able to understand me? So go the extra mile to explain yourself, Tell them, this is what I meant. Did you understand me? Ask the questions and then just probe them on. So that the communication cycle becomes complete.
Okay. We are talking about communication and social media. Does social media improve or impede communication? What are your thoughts? What has the experience been? Because I know you're on social media. So talk to us via SMS 20316 or via WhatsApp, social media, 0786316 You're talking about, connection and how we always have this need. You go somewhere and the first thing you're looking for is Wi-Fi and connection. Maybe you can share that point, because I think it's very interesting and it's the reality we live in.
Yeah, so every time, I think half of the time you enter even a cafe and you just want to know, do you have a Wi-Fi password? What's a Wi-Fi password? And it's a matter of you just want to be connected, and you just want to access that information. That's social media platform. And it's something that as businesses even need to accommodate this in their plan. How do we make sure that we have people connecting, and how do we make sure people are accessing this information, even when they're coming to your, for example, when they're coming for an interview, if I remember correctly. You remember that time where you have that 10-minute window where you arrive early and you just want to remember, what was the slogan for this company?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was the slogan? So you're like, okay, let me just check. I can just find it.
Yeah.
It just becomes easier
Yeah.
to connect it, yes.
You know, it's interesting you say that. Sometimes being in this space, I usually think about the people who were in this space when we didn't have social media, and I say, those guys were the real gurus. I'm telling you, the Leonard Mambos, the Jeff Mwangemis. I mean, those guys did radio and TV, and we had to send a salams card. You had to go buy a salam card, send it through the post.
Yeah.
They'll receive it like next week, and then that is when they will read your salams on radio.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Today, send an SMS, I receive it now.
I know.
I receive it now, and then if I don't read it, you get offended.
Or if you ignore it.
Or you're thinking, these guys don't even care. And sometimes you have like 300 SMSs and you can't read all of them. But I'm just saying that to ask you, Cynthia, when it comes to businesses,
Yeah.
you think social media has been a blessing in terms of being able to communicate easier, or has it brought in more problems where communication is concerned?
It's 50-50, actually. It's a positive and a negative as well. Because, you know, in this day and age, like we said earlier, people have no stop button. You know, people always share. At any moment in time, they'll just overshare.
It's called verbal diarrhea.
Exactly. So whether you've asked for their opinion or not, they will tell you. So as a business owner, it is your duty to mitigate these conversations. So there's something in social media called social listening. So are you listening to the conversations that your audience has about your business? So when someone mentions family radio, for instance, what are they saying about family radio? You know, are they talking negatively or positively about it? So as a brand, then you can be able to take those responses and work with them. I don't know if you saw this tweet. There's a lady, a Nigerian lady, who brought about a lot of controversy on Twitter because she accused a certain hotel of sexually harassing her.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yes, and it was a whole thing on Twitter because people are enraged. 90% of people on Twitter were so mad that she had to go through this experience.
But was it a true experience?
She alleges so. So we can't really tell because the hotel later said it's not true. So, you know, we can't really know. But the interesting thing is, everyone on Twitter, like 90% of people on Twitter, went to Google and left a bunch of negative reviews.
Oh.
They have never been there, never visited this particular hotel, but negatively impacted their business.
Based on this one lady's story?
On an anonymous story. Because it's not proofed, you know, you don't know if it's true.
Yes.
They have no facts. But because someone said it and it's sentimental and it trended, then, you know, everyone ran with it. So now it's our duty as businesses to mitigate these conversations. You know, if you've been blown to that extent, if you've been given a blow to that extent, then you need to mitigate it. Send out an apology. Even if it's not true, just send out an apology. You know, mitigate the PR for your business. Yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine if that is my hotel I've come to. What do I do?
Yeah.
They're spreading all these lies.
So now we have our crisis meeting. Now we try to figure out how do we handle this situation.
Yes.
Because now we have to listen to her. We have to investigate. Exactly. Is it true? Is it not? What happened? Like, we have to know exactly what happened.
Yes.
Is she true? Was she in this hotel?
Yeah,
when was she in this hotel? Who did this? Who is she accusing? So we have to. And then we see how we can handle it from there.
No, but I'm just thinking, for me, that's a very good scenario because the damage is already done. Because on social media, we always have our guns blazing. Who do
all
we
the
shoot?
time.
Yes.
we have to keep trending. Who do we shoot next?
Yes.
What did they do? Even if they didn't do it, shoot. Everybody, aim.
Fans like
Shoot.
Kenyans on Twitter. Well,
Kenyans on, oh my goodness.
yeah.
Oh my
I
goodness.
know, they're the worst.
But even with that,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to look at now from a positive perspective for businesses, because now social media has made it possible for you to get feedback from your clients. You know, sometimes when we are face to face, some things are hard to say.
Sure.
Because I'm just thinking, what will you think of me? Even though this is the truth. Enye kusema ukweli chakula yenyu si poa. Hiyo chakula yenyu inanuka mafuta ya taa. It reminds me of boarding school.
Oh no.
But I can't tell you because I'm feeling like, woy she, if I tell you face to face.
Yeah.
But
Having a bad
yes,
day.
but on social media, because no one knows, maybe even I have a pseudonym there, I can tell you the truth.
Yeah, true.
You know, so I'm just trying to figure out, is that a positive or a negative for a business? That people can actually give you real feedback.
I think it's positive. Because how we're able to adapt to that is when we receive feedback.
Yeah.
Because adaptability is very, very important to businesses. For example, when we had COVID, the moment we had like COVID in 2020, okay.
2020.
March. I remember. I remember we used to work with this client, and it's a studio.
Yeah.
And you had to have clients every single day come to the studio to take photos. But now when we hear like our photographers are not like, we can't, we just don't feel safe anymore. That's feedback from our staff, that they don't feel safe anymore, and we have to do something about it. Now trying to find a way to make them feel safe and to make it feel a bit safe. So we tried that. When now our customers are saying, we don't feel safe coming to the studio. What do you have? Now we're sanitizing everything. So it's more of we adapt to it.
Yes.
Yeah. And try to make it, we try to make it better for our customers.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's adaptability. It's very good feedback.
Do you think, talking about this generation, Cynthia, do you think it's harder for people to communicate face to face because we so lean on social media? You said earlier on, people come and the first thing they want is Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You know, I've had a scenario where young people come visiting. Yeah, my son's friends come visiting. And in fact, this is like barely a month ago. About 3 young men and 2 ladies, they come. And they're there in the living room. And I'm just thinking, wow, this is such another generation. All of you on your phones, 2 on the video game, they're on the screen. The rest of you are here, you're on your phones. Some other guys have got their ears plugged in. And I'm thinking, mmekuja kudu?
I know.
So is it harder for your generation to have face-to-face conversations because you lean so much on a screen?
Yeah, I think so. Because people spend a lot of screen time on social media, so it has definitely negatively impacted their communication and how they relay information. Like in the past, communication took longer, you know, before you get that 1 week later, you know,
that one salam card comes in.
I know. It's 1 week later, so you literally have to make time to go and talk to this person if you want to have a meaningful conversation. So because of that disparity, nowadays it's easy to hit up on someone at the go. You know, there's WhatsApp, there's a phone call, there's video calls. You know, so it's easier to get to someone instantly. And that has led to people, the interpersonal relations to kind of take a hit. And yes, it negatively impacted how the Gen Z especially interact with each other and the older generation as well. Yeah.
What about grammar?
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder if when our English teachers go through some of our social media posts, do they cringe? The ones who have died, do they turn in their graves? What do you think about grammar?
I was going through, I think 3 weeks ago, I was going through my 2013 or like 2017 post.
Yes.
Wow. I should not be writing such things anywhere. I was, wow. I don't know what is happening. So yeah, I think they cringe a bit. If they're connected to us, yes, I think they do cringe. They're like, did I not attend this class and teach it? Did I just send assignments and then just leave them to themselves? So yeah, it's really taken a hit.
I'm wondering if that is connected to the fear of missing out and the need to be the first to say. So you don't think through what you write. You know, you just write it and throw it out there because I want to be the first one to say it, or I want to post it because I don't want people to miss out on it.
Absolutely. You don't want to trend at the very moment.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of that journey.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Hata mimi niko na kitu ya kusema.
Yeah. Like I have to. It's really taken a hit. But now we have things like Grammarly. Download it on your phone.
Ni kazi mingi.
The laziness now kicks in.
Yes, ni kazi mingi.
I know.
Si bora wameelewa.
Are you thinking of your storage for your phone? Oh my
Yes,
God.
I have other things I need to put on this phone.
Download something.
Kwani
But
ni
being
exam?
intentional about it.
Kwani ni exam?
I know.
Because it will help with your emails as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I think one of the things that's coming out of this conversation is that it's a wonderful tool. My question then would be, how do we become deliberate in using it to become better communicators? Because it has got an addictive nature to it. You know, it gives me the freedom to say what I want, how I want, when I want. It gives me the possibility to connect with a lot of people at the same time, because when I post something on social media, the possibilities of multitudes seeing it is real. So with all these things in mind, digital marketing manager, how do I become intentional in ensuring that I'm more responsible and I'm a better communicator on social media?
In two ways. In the business perspective, we need to make sure that we have a goal in mind.
Okay.
You know, if you're a business, you can't just post anything at any moment and just, you know, without any goal in mind.
Yeah.
So the first step as a business owner is identifying your why, identify your goal. So why exactly is this Instagram in place? Is it there to share my products? Is it there to interact with my audience? Why is it there exactly? So be intentional about your why and have your goals in place before you actually create this social media platform. In the personal space, we need to be more mindful of others. You know, not everyone is as strong-willed and as opinionated as we are. So we need to be mindful of what we say.
Okay.
We need to be mindful of what we share. If it's not the truth, then think twice before you actually share it. Also be mindful of the children, because this also gives a tendency to expose content that is not age appropriate to children. And this will lead to exposure of our children to dangerous things. You know, you can also expose them to predators unknowingly.
Yes.
So we really need to be mindful, and also as parents, be cautious when our kids interact in the online spaces. Yeah.
You know, sometimes people have this notion. I have a friend of mine. Sometimes he posts things. There's a season he was posting some stuff and I had to inbox him because he's my friend from primary school. Classmates in primary school, classmates in secondary school. Both of us are doing media.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would inbox him and ask him, dude, man, why are you saying these things? This is not the you that I know. What changed? And he always tells me, Pastor Jemo, social media is for entertainment. You know me. This is not who I am. And so I'm thinking about social media, image, PR. Because sometimes we do things or we say things or we communicate things, not because it's what we want to say, but because we have a need to trend. We have a need to attract followers. I need to get to this many followers, then I can monetize my channel, then I can do this. So from a PR perspective, what's the danger of that?
Losing yourself.
Losing yourself.
Yeah.
Explain.
Because so many times, even for me, I have to do social media cleansing completely. So
Kunakuwaga na kitu kama cleansing.
So I'm not on social media.
Cast out the demons from social media, from my account. Riswa, come out.
Yeah, because there needs to be time where you just carve this for me. Let me find out what's happening. Am I okay? And then asking yourself every single time, if I'm posting this, okay, what is it? Like, why? What's as you said, why? Why am I posting this?
Yeah.
And then losing yourself is so easy. So now you have different personas. You have the real you when we're hanging out. And then all of a sudden when you go to social media, you are a totally, completely different person.
Yeah.
And every time you're trying to merge them together, they will never merge, ever. Your persona for your social media and your real life will never, ever, until you're able to decide, this is the one I want to be with.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is me, and this is how I want to share.
Yeah.
So in essence, it's even hard to be credible because
Yes.
who is who? Yeah, and people will make an opinion of you based on what you're putting on social media, because that's where a lot of people are spending a lot of their time anyway.
Yeah, even businesses, when you're trying to hire somebody, the first thing you go and do,
Oh,
you
yeah.
need money. Okay, so your Instagram, okay. Your Facebook, okay. Your LinkedIn, so it all connects. At the end of the day, I think as individuals, even we're trying to find jobs, we're trying to find businesses, we have to be mindful of this, that people are seeing, people are watching exactly what you're doing on social media platform. People are watching. Even if they'll never say, they are watching. You could just miss that opportunity, that business deal, just because you posted something that doesn't align with their business values or business goals. So at the same time, you won't get that job. You will not get that business deal just because of one single thing you did out of wanting to trend or wanting to be a part of the conversation.
And I've actually read stories of people who either got fired or people who lost a job, a very good opportunity for their career because of something they posted on social media without even thinking. You know, as we conclude, I think sometimes the other thing we forget is once it's out there, it's hard to kill it. It's hard to bring it back. The internet doesn't forget. You know, one of the things I've been seeing lately is with this heated political environment we are in, you know, every camp has their bloggers. And some people have been regurgitating what this same bloggers told us 5 years ago about the person they're now fully behind. 5 years ago they were saying such. You're thinking, what happened? So maybe you can say something on that as we finish.
Yeah, we just to reinstate what I said earlier, we really need to be mindful of what we share, because the internet is like a book, you know, that is always constantly online. So people will constantly will be able to research you if they need to. Case in point, if you want to research data, we can go to Google and we'll get data as old as 50 years or 20 years. Okay, not 50, 20 years, because the internet came about in the 80s. So we can get content as old as 20 years. So yes, we really need to be cautious of what we share and how we interact with people, because yes, everyone is watching. We may feel like, oh, we are powerful, no one can stop us, but at the end of the day, we need to be responsible and be alert and know that people are watching us.
Awesome. Anything to add to that?
Take control. And try and balance it out. So taking control means taking control of what exactly you want to say and why do you want to say it. And then finding the balance between them both. You don't have to spend 2 hours on Instagram or TikTok or any other social media platform. You don't need to. But if you do, why do you need to? There has to be a reason as to why. So it's more of taking control and having balance. Everything is all about balance.
And some things are better said face to face. Or by a phone call.
Absolutely.
Don't post Happy Mother's Day on social media and you haven't even called your mom. You want the likes, but you're not wishing your mom Happy Mother's Day. Anyway, my time is up.
Thank you for watching. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get notified whenever we upload new fresh content every day. Stay tuned and enjoy fresh, uplifting content.